I would have not become a top 1% store if I didn't learn how to properly manage my Etsy ads. In this video, I'm going to share with you guys the formula that was able to help me to scale to becoming a top 1% store. Hi guys, my name is Vlad. I'm the owner of Tag Pup. It is the #1 pet product store on Etsy in terms of daily sales. You can check with eRank and you'll find that I double or triple second and third place when it comes to daily sales. So I'm one of the hottest stores on Etsy when it comes to pet products. So I'm saying this not to just flex. I'm saying this so that you don't miss the opportunity to share with you guys how to deal with Etsy advertisements. I spent over $300,000 on Etsy ads. I'm going to share with you guys exactly a step-by-step on what you need to do if your Etsy advertisements don't work and how you can apply yourself appropriately. So if you're new to this channel, this is the kind of in-depth content you're going to get. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, and if you like this video, leave me a tip like hitting that thumbs up. So if your advertisement on Etsy is not performing well, you're gonna have to do one of three things if they're not performing well. One, you either need to be patient and something's gonna change, or two, you need to adjust and modify something, or three, you need to stop advertising. The trick is to realize which of those three you should be doing. So in this video, I'm gonna give you the scenarios that you need to do for one of those three. As I'm gonna be going through these steps, I'm gonna be explaining exactly what you need to do and how to diagnose in order to make the decision whether you need to stop or keep going. Now, we need to establish a baseline. We need to assume that you have done your proper keyword research. We have to assume that your product is going to be in high demand and you have done your due diligence before coming to this moment. Now, if you have not done your product research or you don't know how to do it, after watching this video, after you've subscribed and hit the bell notification and hit the thumbs up on this video, go ahead and check out my other videos. I'm going to leave little cards on the sides to help you guys to keep exploring on how to properly sell on Etsy. And one of them is going to be product research or how to find trends. Now, in fact, on my YouTube channel, you'll find a lot of ideas that I give you guys what you need to sell at which time of the year. So take advantage of that. Now, let's establish that you have done that. And now we're going to move forward understanding that, hey, let's just say you've picked a really good product and your advertisement is just not working. So the first one is you need to be patient. Okay, when do you make the decision that I'm going to keep going and I'm not going to chicken out and I'm going to keep investing? When is that a good decision to make? Well, first, we need to realize that advertisements are not linear. When people run advertisement for a day and they're saying, hey, I spent $100 and I only made $90 in sales, so I lost some money. In fact, I lost a lot of money, right? And you're saying advertisement's not for me, or even 7 days. But the way Etsy advertisement work is that when somebody clicks on your advertisement listing, you spend the money already. And let's say they're sitting on the toilet and they're trying to figure out what couch pillow they need, and they wanted a red couch pillow, and they clicked on your advertisement. So when you spent the money on them, and their wife is knocking on the door and saying, you're in there too long. So they go, oh, that's right. They go off, do their thing, come back to the phone, and they're like, oh yeah, let me search for some couch pillows. When they type in couch pillows into the search engines, the results will now adjust to their previous searches. So if you paid for their click, you're going to have a sweet spot in that search ranking because algorithm has recognized, hey, they clicked on this one, so they might like more of their stuff. So you have to realize that when you spend money that one day, you might only get results within weeks, if not a month. So you have to understand that advertisement is not a linear thing. It's very dynamic and results don't always come right away. Now, the second way to identify whether you should be waiting and keep pushing through it, I'm going to have to jump on my computer and show you what you need to look for in the analytics in order to make that decision. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go on stats. Once we hit on stats, you go down to the listing that you want to observe. Let's just say we're going to click on this one. You need to scroll down and you need to find this pie chart. What this pie chart is going to show you is where your traffic is coming to in regards to this listing. Now, this whole big blue part is basically saying when they're coming from other products, other listings, and then they're like, ooh, what about this one? And they click on that listing, that's where it's coming from. It's coming from within your store. Now, this what I hear is your organic search. It's from people searching and you're organically bringing people in. And this is the advertisement. This is where the traffic is coming when you're paying for them. As you can see that my advertisement section is small and my organic is bigger. Now, it was flipped when I just started selling this product. I had the advertisement was just like about this big, and only a sliver of this was organic. And that's because the organic listing is slowly turtling its way through the algorithm. Now, the advertisement is the one that's really pushing through the ceiling, and it's obviously going to be bringing you the majority of your advertisement. And so what you need to do to identify whether you are in the first section, which means wait and be patient, is when you run advertisement, and I like to do 30 to 60 days of running my advertisement in order to make the proper decision in which of the 3 categories this listing belongs in. So when I run for, say, 30 days, let's just take 30 days for a second. What you would need to do is you would need to filter out the first 7 days of that 30-day period. You screenshot this little pie chart, and then you go to the last 7 days of the 30-day period, and then you screenshot again, and then you compare how well this orange section has grown. If this orange section has gotten bigger and the advertisement has gotten smaller, that means you're in the right direction, and you just got to keep going. Because if you keep advertising, it will grow and become one of the larger ones and overtake the advertisement, thus improving your profit margins, which is always nice. Now, there is going to be a moment of saying, this is it, this is how far we're going to go. And this listing I've been selling for a long time now, and this is where I'm at currently. So this is a good pie chart. Sometimes I might have this even bigger. So if you see the direction that it is going to growth, where your organic listing is growing, you know you got to keep holding in. All right, and the third reason why your listing might not be performing well and you need to push through it is it's a new listing. If it's a new listing, or you're a fresh new store, you're going to have people that are going to be a little skeptical about the kind of shop you are. If I'm getting a gift for, say, my mom, or let's just say I'm getting ready for a wedding, I don't want Etsy to sabotage that. So I would rather find a shop that has the experience of customer service and that can deliver on time. So when you are a new store, there's just not enough trust sometimes, and your profit margins or your conversion rate might just be slightly below. Now, this is not a big one, but it is a factor that you would need to consider. Okay, so the second section is modify. This means you keep running your advertisement, you just need to change something. How do you know if you need to modify something in your listing? The first one is you have to be honest with the quality of your listing. How do you do that? Now, you're obviously going to be biased because you're the one that put the listing together. What you need to do is choose a couple friends or a sample of your friends and choose the top competitors that are selling that product, and choose the nice ones. Choose the ones that are very professional, and you send them the links of these, say, 3 shops, and include the 4th one to be yours in obviously a randomized order, and have your friends select which of the products they would like to buy. If yours was not chosen, that tells you that you're not competing on the quality. Now, try to change, hire a photographer, really put your effort into the product, and then try that again. So if they start to select yours, then you know that you are ready to upgrade your listing and you will see better results. Because we're selling a want-based product, visuals are everything. They don't need it. They want it, and you want to spark that emotional response with the imagery and the visual representation of that listing. The second one is there errors. Have somebody proofread your listing. You need to have somebody be involved in your listing. If you're kind of shy and you don't like criticism, this is where you might have to humble yourself and let somebody read your listing and tell you what you missed. And then the next one is your price competitive. Now, this is very important. If your production is horrible and it takes you forever to make a product, you're going to have a higher price. But if you can improve your manufacturing, and I guarantee that you're probably saying to yourself, it is as best as it's going to get. I guarantee you that there are things you can change. And if you have a competitive price, you will start to see your conversion rates improve. Now, sure, Etsy is a different platform than Amazon, and the price doesn't matter as much. But it still does improve your conversion rate, thus improving your ranking. Say you sell 10 items for a higher price or 15 items for a lesser price, and the outcome of how much money you got from them or in terms of profit was the same, and you're like, well, I'd rather only make 10 and not 15 in order to not work as much. But here's the thing. You're hurting your conversion rate. If you are able to sell more product, you're letting the Etsy algorithm know that you have a higher conversion rate. You've sold more items. Etsy does not care on the price tag of your product, but it does care on how many units you have sold in how many clicks. So sometimes less work is not always a good thing. If you're able to sell, say, 20 and not 10, and you got the same price out of it, I would go for the 20 just because it's better for the algorithm. So the next one is tags. You might need to modify your tags, because let's say you sell a red couch pillow, and you in your tags have the keyword blue or green, or take out all those colors, because your Etsy ads are spending money trying to rank on keywords that are not relevant. You want to be as closely relevant to those keywords because you need to satisfy the keyword. So if I'm a customer and I'm looking for a blue pillow and your red pillow pops up, I'm obviously not looking for that. So I'm going to either scroll past it, which reduces your conversion rate in that matter, or if I do click on it, I'm like, oh, that's a cool pillow, but I don't need it, but I want to check it out. I'm spending your money and I'm less likely to buy it, so you're reducing your conversion rate. So make sure your tags are closely correlated to what your product is, so that you most closely satisfy the keywords appropriately. And the last one for the adjustment section is your product a niched product. What I mean, if you're selling t-shirts, you're going to have a lower conversion rate. But if you're going to be selling graduation mom t-shirt, you're going to have a better conversion rate because that's a little bit more niched and specific. So you got to make sure that is the product you're selling a niched product, or is it a very broad product? And that's something that's really important for you to consider. So if you are a broad product, you might need to adjust and find keywords that you can narrow your product and change your tags. Okay, now the last one is, how do you diagnose if you need to shut off your advertisement and not do advertisement for that listing? Well, the first one is you might be just losing to your competitors in terms of design. This is where you have to be honest with yourself. The market is going to vote for the best design. It's going to rank the best designs that the market thinks are going to be. Now, whether you agree with that or not, that's not up to you. It's up to the people with the wallets. So if they chose that these designs are the better one, what you might need to do is pause the advertisement and let that listing sell organically and create another listing that is inspired by the top ranking listings, and then create a new listing and start this whole thing all over again with a new listing, because the market will vote, and you want to make sure that you are carefully listening to the market and not be foolish, but apply yourself appropriately. The second one in this category is that you might have a very similar product. If I'm selling a mug that has bridesmaids on front and it's a white mug, I'm trying to be minimalistic and it's a cursive text, and everybody else is selling the same thing, you might have a harder time selling that mug, because if the customer has scrolled past those minimalistic white mug with bridesmaid on it, the chances of them scrolling past yours on the second page is pretty high. So you want to make sure that you stand out to some extent. Yes, it's okay to be inspired by other listing and get as close as you can, but sometimes when there's not enough features to be different and you're almost literally copying them, it's going to be a lot harder for you to rank, especially if their price is better, because at that point, it's just a matter of price. You can do it, but you're going to have to really lower your price. So if you can still, again, sell that organically, but I wouldn't bet my dollar on that in terms of advertisement. And the last one is reviews. Now, I had to close down a whole store because of this. I had a cat store, and I've been using the same buckles for my extra small dog collars for my cat collars, and they turned out to be too heavy, and the customers were complaining, leaving bad reviews saying it's too heavy for my cat, and I had to actually close the whole store. So if this is the reason you're not ranking well and it's hurting your SEO and you're trying to advertise that listing, you might want to pause it and change that error. All right, so hopefully you found that useful. If you have, make sure to hit the thumb on this video. And like I said, if after watching this video, it's like, hey, I want to do some more keyword research so that I can have this video be even more helpful for me and even more useful, these two videos, go ahead and check them out. I'm telling you, you need to learn how to do Etsy appropriately. And on this channel, we're going to take deep and deeper dives into how to sell on Etsy so that you can become also a top 1% store. So make sure to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the bell notification so to be notified the next time this face pops up. All right, have a good one.